The famous Roman politician and philosopher Marcus Tullius Cicero thought much on the topic of friendship. His short book on the topic, How to Be a Friend, an ancient guide to true friendship, offers timeless practical advice on how to be a true friend, while also diving deep into the philosophical underpinnings of why friendship is so important. Here are 31 quotes from Cicero on friendship. One thing I believe you must know above all is that friendship is not possible except between good people. There are others who believe that the highest goal is goodness, or what we call virtue. These people hold the right view, for virtue itself gives birth to friendship and nurtures it, so that without virtue, friendship is not able to exist. What could be sweeter than to have someone you can dare to talk to about everything as if you were speaking to yourself? How could you enjoy the good times of life if you didn't have someone who was as happy about your good fortune as you are? Whoever looks upon a true friend looks, in a sense, at an image of himself. For it is love from which the word friendship comes, and this is the origin of goodwill. It seems to me that friendship arises from nature itself, rather than from any need, along with an inclination of the soul joined with a sense of love, rather than a calculation of how useful the relationship might be. Real friendship cannot be the child of poverty and need. If this were true, the less people had, the better their qualifications for friendship would be. This is far from the truth. We are not kind and generous to our friends because we seek favors in return. We are not so petty as to charge interest on our kindness. We are kind-hearted because it is the right and natural thing to do, not because we are hoping for something in return. The reward of friendship is friendship itself. When two people long for such goodness, they seek it out in each other, and so draw closer together so that they can enjoy the company and character of the one they love. They become rivals in doing good for each other, more desirous of doing good for the other than getting something in return, an honorable competition. In this way, friendship becomes something quite advantageous, not in the sense of getting something we need in our weakness, but as a relationship deriving from nature itself. Never ask a friend to do anything shameful, and don't do anything shameful if asked. Seek from friends only what is honorable, and do for friends only what is just, but don't wait to be asked. True friends should give faithful advice to each other, not only with frankness, but with sternness, if necessary. Anxiety for the sake of a friend is something we should accept, and certainly isn't grounds for removing friendship from our life, any more than we should reject living a virtuous life because it sometimes causes us care and distress. It must be granted that good people feel affection for and seek out other good people as if nature herself created kinship between them. The kindest and most generous people are actually those who need the other person the least. Friendship doesn't result from advantage, but advantage results from friendship. It's not easy to find someone who will descend into the depths of calamity with a friend. For the fruit of talent, virtue, or any other excellence we might have is best enjoyed when we share it with those nearest and dearest to us. Just as friends and acquaintances who are superior should put themselves on a level with those who are lacking, So those who are inferior should not be hurt if their friends surpass them in talent or money or standing. Someone who is superior ought to bring himself down to the level of his friends and try and raise them up when he can. As a general rule, we shouldn't commit to friendships until we've reached an age where our character and way of living are established and confirmed. Nothing is more disgraceful than to wage war against someone you once loved. There is only one way to prevent such unpleasantness, and that is to make sure in the first place that you don't love too quickly, and don't give your friendship to those unworthy of it. A friend is, quite simply, another self. For whatever takes away respect from a friendship takes away its most precious jewel. Nature gave us friendship as an aid to virtue, not as a companion to vice. Suppose a god carried you far away to a place where you were granted an abundance of every material good nature could wish for, but denied the possibility of ever seeing a human being. Wouldn't you have to be as hard as iron to endure that sort of life? Wouldn't you, utterly alone, lose every capacity for joy and pleasure? Some people's most bitter enemies are more helpful to them than their sweet-seeming friends, since the former often tell the truth, but the latter never do. In friendship, as they say, unless you see an open heart and reveal your own, you'll have nothing certain or trustworthy. When virtue has raised itself up and shown its light and has seen the same light in someone else, it is drawn to that person and receives what it gives another. As for you, my young friends, I urge you to strive for virtue, for without it, friendship cannot exist. And friendship, aside from virtue, is the greatest thing we can find in life.